YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Concise the Barber, and we are back with another video. This is going to be one of the first videos that is going to happen in 2023, and I wanted to start out the year with this because this is the comparison that we got to do since I have it for y'all. So let's get into this video. So y'all, we're going to be going over which one is better. You got the Instincts that's just about to come out, and you got the Sabers that have been out for a few months. So we're going to compare these two, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty on which one is the best one to have right now, especially coming in 2023. I definitely feel like Stylecraft has definitely elevated, and they are giving us some great trimmers. So let's see which one's the king of the hill, which one's the best one to get out of these two. I know somebody out there, they're having a hard decision on which one to get if they didn't get one already. So let's get into the video. So the first thing I like talking about is the price. The price for both of these are really close, but there is just a little bit of a difference. For the Sabers, they are $179.99, and for the Stylecraft Instincts, they are $199.99. So it's a $20 difference. Not that much of a difference, to be honest. If you use my discount code Concise10, you're gonna be saving money on either or, no matter what. So I have to give this somewhat of a tie due to the fact that it's not that much of a difference. How I rated the price, I'm gonna rate these by numbers from 1 being the least, 5 being the best. So when it comes to price, I gave this a 5 and I gave the Instincts a 4. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the power and battery life. Now this is gonna be one of the most interesting parts, because when it comes to power, we're gonna be talking about motors. In this, you have a brushless torque motor, and in this one, you have a vector motor. Now, the main difference is that this seems to be like a different type of magnetic motor, but when there's any resistance, this does rev up. This is just a brushless rotary motor, and it can just basically just chop through anything. But this having 11,500 RPMs and this having 7,500 RPMs, that is a big difference. When it comes to power, I will give this a 5 and I will give this a 4. Same as when it comes to the RPMs, this does get a 5 and this gets a 4. These are still high at 4 RPMs when it comes to trimmers, but this revving up to 11,500 is crazy. At base, it's about 9,000 RPMs, and at base, this is 7,100 RPMs. Now the next section is the battery life. Battery life is not that much of a difference when it comes to these. It's just maybe the charge time that might be different. So they're both at 4 hours of a run time, and at charge time, this is at 1.5 hours, this is at 2 hours. So this has just a little bit, that half hour, but it really doesn't matter that much, to be honest, because nobody's really gonna be needing 4 hours of a run time. It's just great to have it, especially if you're traveling. But the charge time for this being a half hour, just a little bit, I did give this a 5 and this a 4.5, just because I can't take a whole point off due to the fact that it's only 30 minutes more to charge. So that's how I have these compared when it comes to power and battery life. Now, the next section I'll be talking about is the packaging, and honestly, this is where things start to get a little bit more tricky due to the fact that this is where the most difference is, to be honest. So when it comes to the packaging for the Instincts, you get 3 lids, custom lids that you can switch out. With the Saber, you get no lids at all. You get the same charging dock. They both get charging docks, but it's really more, you get more bang for your buck with this trimmer than this trimmer when it comes to packaging. Stylecraft always comes out with stuff that you can always customize, but it seems like when it came to the Saber trimmer, they did not give customized lids for that. However, they just came out with an all black version. I believe you can pre-order that now. If you want to, you can use my discount code Concise10. But these are the 2 colors that they only have. This came with 3 colors in one package. So I gave this a 5 and I gave this a 3.5. Honestly, I feel like for it not having the customized lids and just the differentiations of what this comes with, that's why there's so much of a big difference, that this gets a 5, this gets a 3.5. And I hope you guys are still adding this up so you guys can see how close this is really going to be at the end. All right, next section, I will be talking about the design. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this is really preference, because some might look at this as like, this is doing too much. Some might look at this as this is too much gold. But let's just really talk about it, because to be honest, I do like the creativity of this design, and I do like the fact that this is all gold. It's like a matte gold. It's not too shiny that it reflects off the light, and it could blind you while you're doing haircuts. But when it comes to design, when it just fit in your hand, when you're just looking at it, I will have to give it to the Instincts more than the Saber. Even though I love this, I love this type of gold. I feel like gold has overran its course just a little bit. I think I'm gonna like the black ones better once I get them, just because you can't go wrong with all black. But all gold, you gotta love gold to really like rock this and, you know, not have a problem with it. But with this comes with 3 different lids. You can do the black, you can do the red, and you can do the blue. Blue is my color, as y'all can tell, but I do like the fact that you get more of a design option when it comes to the Instinct. And for the design, I gave this a 5 and I gave the Saber a 4. Also, another thing, I do like the grooves on the back of this. This does not have no grooves at all. So that was another thing about the design that I really did like. Now, the next section, I think I'm gonna have to clear this up. If you guys see my Instinct Concise review, this is about the blades. Now, when it comes to these blades, this is what I was talking about when I said that this does not have the one blade on it. Now, when it comes to the blades, this is just me. When the one just first came out, they were all gold, and the one is the cutting blade that everybody's referring to. But what I was referring to is the cutting blade and the steel blade as a whole. So that being said, I was saying that the Instinct trimmer did not come with the one setup that the Sabers did. That's all I was saying. I was talking about the steel blade and the cutting blade. I understand that everybody's talking about the cutting blade. However, even though my cutting blade is different from the Instinct cutting blade, it could be a manufacturer thing. But all in all, I want to talk about what is the pros and cons to both blades. Now, to be honest, I have not had much cons when it comes to this blade, this gold hyperallergenic blade. Honestly, it does well with heat. If this is on for a very long time, this does not get hot for me as much. Now, the Instinct trimmer, the black diamond carbon blade, did get hot, maybe due to the fact that the RPMs at 11,500. But that being said, like, these can get hot really fast. And it can kind of make it unenjoyable just a little bit. So that being said, I did give the Saber blade a 5, and I gave the black diamond carbon blade a 3.5. Couldn't give it a 4, but I didn't want to go too low either, but that's what I came up with. Now in this section, we're going to be talking about performance. How well do these bad boys cut? And I have to be honest with you guys, these are both amazing trimmers. They do great with bulk removals. Now the black diamond blade is just a little bit thinner than this gold blade, and this gets just a little bit more closer, but you really gotta take a note of that, because both of these you can use a shaver right after it, and it's not working too hard if you're using either one of these. When it comes to bulk removal, I did give this a 5 and this a 4.5 due to the fact this gets just a little bit closer. Now, when it comes to lineups, they both are amazing at lineups, so I both gave these a 5. Really not much of a problem. Now, if you're doing a lineup right after you're doing removing the bulk, you will be dealing with a little bit of heat when you're doing a lineup. But if you're not, you give this a second just to cool down, and then you come back to it, then line up, then you will be fine. But other than that, I just both gave these a 5. I'm not gonna knock points off due to how you might cut. Whatever your system is to cut, I'm not gonna knock the points off how well they do lineups, because they're both great at it. Now, this is the last test. I will be talking about the noise that these both produce, and honestly, it is a big significant difference. Now, some people might care about this depending on if you're in a suite like me or you're in a barber shop where it's nice and loud. But me being in a suite, I do like stuff that's a little bit more quieter than me being in a barber shop. You're really not going to hear this tool that much. But when it comes to noise, I would have to say the Saber is a lot quieter than the Instinct. So let's do a quick noise check. This is the Saber. I'm gonna put it next to the mic. Now this is the Instinct trimmer. Big difference on sound. So when it comes to client's comfortability, the Sabers definitely win. When it comes to the environment, the Sabers win on that. And if any barbers out there like me that I care about how my stuff sounds as well as it performs, then you'll probably pick the Saber over the Instinct trimmer as well. But this right here, big difference. So I gave the Saber out of 5 when it comes to how quiet it is. And I gave the Instinct trimmer a 2. So big difference. So that's why the score is where it's at. So let's see what the total score is when it comes to both of these. So all those scores, everything added up, this is how it came out. The Saber trimmer had total points of 50. The Stylecraft Instinct came with a total point of 49.5. So the Saber just won by a 0.5. Just to give it a fair score, fair even score. I didn't want to do like both of the tie, to be honest, but that's very, very close at, at a score. Now, if the noise cancellation was 8 times better, then this would probably win by a mile. And especially if the blade didn't get hot, this would win by, not by a mile, but it will win period over the Saber trimmer. But due to the fact that this blade does not get hot and it's a lot quieter, that's what gave it that 0.5 of a difference when it comes to the Instinct trimmer. Either way, these are both nice trimmers. They're probably the best ones out so far. I have a few more that I'm going to be checking out, but so far for me in 2023, these are the main 2 I'll be working with. And if you guys want to get them, make sure you use my code Concise10. And they coming out with a black one of these. So if you do not like the all gold look, they're coming out with a black one, and I think that's going to be dope. So that's my comparison on the Instinct trimmers and the Saber trimmers. Thank you all for watching this, and I'll see you on the next one.